We are Black We are Wisconsin.
Home sweet home. Good to be back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And what a perfect night for baseball we have. Temperatures in the mid-60s. The roof is wide open. And the Brewers are ready to start a 7-game homestand. First up, the Cincinnati Reds. The first of 4 against the Redlegs, a contender in the National League Central. Kyle Lohse on the mound, the former Red, against Tony Sengrani, the young lefty. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us today alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Well, the Brewers are glad to be home. Had a very successful road trip and felt good about the way things went against some very tough pitching. And now they're going to face another contender in the Cincinnati Reds. And no matter how you stack the numbers against Kyle Lohse, he's been as advertised over the last 3 months.
Yeah, a month and a half have been pretty good. But when you talk about how he's done at home at Miller Park, it's been amazing to watch what he's been able to do. 5-0 record, a 256 earned run average his last 7 starts. But if you look back, his last loss here at home was on May 8th against the Texas Rangers. And Kyle Lohse is part of a pitching staff right now for the Milwaukee Brewers. The best starting pitching earned run average in all of baseball since the beginning of August.
Well, and Kyle Lohse hoping for some run support tonight. The Brewers have actually swung the bats well, and they are hitting the long ball once again. On that 9-game road trip, they had 10 homers, and Juan Francisco went deep twice last night. When we come back, Craig and Augie will talk Big Juan right after this.
By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Well, after a couple of games in a row with rain delays in Arlington, Texas, beautiful skies here in Milwaukee as we welcome you back to Miller Park. Roof is wide open over here as the Brewers are ready for the Cincinnati Reds. Kyle Lohse on the hill. Juan Francisco at the plate. Boy, what a job this guy did on the road trip, batting nearly 500 and finding his power stroke, Augie.
I'll tell you what, when you look at Juan Francisco at the plate, there's two words that define him: instant power. When you look at his 11 home runs since 625, it's the best in the National League. This is a guy that they're playing at first base. They want to get a good look at because he can do some good things with the bat.
And he's been going the other way with his power as well. In fact, over the last 40 games, batting nearly 311 home runs, 23 RBIs, back in that lineup again tonight. It's the Reds and the Brewers, the first of 4 all weekend here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Our reporter tonight. Delighted to have you with us. Michael Venner, our producer. Kevin Shank does the directing. Brewers baseball back at Miller Park on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Carlos Gomez getting all revved up. Brewers will match up against the Reds for the 4th series this year. Kyle Loesch has a win against Cincinnati this season, one of his 2 starts against the Redlegs. And the Brewers in their last series against Cincinnati taking 2 out of 3. And they take the field ready to go on a nice 7-game homestand coming up. Ron Renicky and Dusty Baker, former teammates with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Baker turning in his lineup card tonight. This is a hot team right now. Baker's Reds have won 4 straight. They swept the Cubs. They've won 8 of 10. And they are now just 3 back in the National League Central. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Baker is Chu at the top, Frazier, then Votto. Middle of the order is Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, and Ryan Ludwig, with Mesoraco, Cozart, and Cingrani rounding it out. Back to National League Baseball. No designated hitter. We do it the way it's supposed to be done, Rock.
Yeah, well, a hot ball club, the Cincinnati Reds, against a very hot pitcher in Kyle Loesch. He's won his last 3 decisions and 7 of his last 8. Making his 14th career appearance against Cincinnati. He's 4-3 with a 326 earned run average, and that includes 1-0 this year in 2 starts against the Reds. Let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. It's a pretty good road trip for the Brewers. 9 games in all, good defense. Davis, Gomez, Aoki from left to right. Ramirez back at third base. He was the designated hitter in yesterday's game. Segura, Bianchi, Francisco, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
Ramos Ramirez returning to Miller Park. He has been on the disabled list for a month. This will be his 2nd start at third base since coming back. He was the designated hitter yesterday. And we'll see how long he's going to be able to go tonight. Renick's hoping to get a full game out of him, as he is on the comeback trail. The umpiring crew is in place. Laz Diaz will call the balls and strikes. Mark Wegner, Mike Winters, and DJ Rayburn, the base umpires. There is the crew chief, Mike Winters, and the stage is all set. Good crowd filing in on a Thursday night. And the first of 4 against Cincinnati. At a season high 16 games over 500, the Reds. Loesch's first pitch to Chu is in there for a strike, and away we go. And bless you. Shin-Soo Choo did not play yesterday. Had a hand injury. And he's back in the starting lineup tonight. Reds have been doing it with their pitching lately. Coming off of that sweep of the Cubs. Second time they've swept the Cubs at Wrigley Field this year.
And their pitching's been very good. Their starters second best in the National League as far as starting rotation earned run average, and doing it without their ace Johnny Cueto. He's back on the disabled list again. Today was supposed to be the day he was going to start.
And Cingrani fits back in that spot. Cueto's been on the disabled list 3 different occasions this year. So they're missing a horse in their rotation, but they have been able to piece it together. And as the Pittsburgh Pirates have hit a little slide now, and they lost earlier today, the Reds have made up a ton of ground in the last 6 days as Chu draws the walk, and Loesch has a man on to get this game started.
Well, he's been throwing an awful lot of strikes. 26 walks is all. 27 now with that walk to Chu to start this game. 97 strikeouts. A very repeatable delivery right over the top. He gets those fingers on top of the baseball. That's how he gets that good sink.
Brewers have really struggled against Cincinnati this year. They are just 3-6, and that includes a series victory over the Reds. They took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati a little over a month ago. That was right before the All-Star break. Big swing from Todd Frazier, and Loesch gets ahead of him. Frazier's feeling good at the plate. Had a home run and a double yesterday. Frazier comes in hitting just .233. Has 11 home runs, 51 RBIs, and this the year that he gets the everyday job at third base. Scott Rowland was that guy last year. Frazier's job this season, and he's had a bit of a down season from what the Reds were hoping. They're hoping for a big finishing kick from him.
Yeah, guy with a lot of power, very good at taking the baseball to the opposite field. That's why the Brewers outfield has swung around toward right a little bit. Got Gomez shaded to right a bit. He's coming back straight away on an 0-2 count, but he likes to use that hole between first and second. Number 2 hitter with some pop. You see that more often these days.
No balls, 2 strikes on Frazier, and he takes one away. Now the Brewers coming off a split at the hands of the Texas Rangers. They had a disappointing loss yesterday in Milwaukee. Brewers lost that game 5-4. A late rally by Texas, a 3-run 7th inning. 3 costly walks in that 7th inning. Tyler Thornburg certainly pitched good enough to win that game. There's a little bouncer over to Ramirez, and his only play is first base. So Frazier is retired, the first out of the ball game. Shin-Soo Choo advances, and that'll bring up Joey Votto.
And it was a rough end to what was a very good road trip. I mean, the Brewers 5-4 on that swing. Very good starting pitching on the West Coast. They did a pretty good job, but you know, the only thing they really remember as they jump on that airplane last night was that rough 7th inning last night, and they lost to the Rangers. That was a tough one for everybody to swallow last night.
Brewers had an early morning arrival, a little after 3 a.m. after their night game last night in Arlington, and a game that did not start on time. There was a rain delay of 37 minutes last night. Meanwhile, the Reds had a day game at Wrigley Field. They were here early last night. And it was interesting that Kyle Lohse, and I think the Brewers gave him the option to travel home early if that's something he would like to do, and he apparently did not, because he was with the ball club last night, wanted to stick with the team.
Some guys like to do that, some don't. Some feel a little bit of added pressure when they leave the ball club to get a good night's sleep. Talk about disrupting your routine, you know, leaving the ball club and taking a commercial flight home. Some guys just don't like it.
Joey Votto, 320 hitter with 17 homers, 56 RBIs. The homers and the RBIs are down a little for Votto standards, but he is 4th in the league in batting, taking a ton of walks. Votto is the league leader in that category. As a matter of fact, he and Shin-Soo Choo are 1 and 2 in the National League in walks and on base percentage. Votto getting on at a .433 clip. There's a strike.
Yeah, he's about as disciplined as any hitter in all of baseball. You talk about a guy that's going to take pitches time and time again, but then late in the game, he'll surprise you, and then he will swing first pitch if he likes it. Change up by Lohse. So Kyle's given Joey Votto everything he has.
And the count goes full 3-2. Votto is among the league leaders in total hits as well. He's 3rd in that category, and Lohse misses. And a very typical start for the Cincinnati Reds, with Choo and Votto drawing walks.
He was kind of rocking the boat, you know, hard stuff, then something off speed. He was doing it throughout the at bat. It was a 6-pitch at bat, a walk to Joey Votto, and I don't think he even swung the bat. That one right on the outside corner, getting to a 2-1 count. Missed with the cutter, then got the changeup over, and then missed down and in on a fastball. And Joey Votto very rarely, if ever, swings at one out of the strike zone.
Kept it on his shoulder the whole time there. So 2 on. Early trouble for Lohse. First innings have been a bothersome inning for Kyle Lohse. And now he's having to deal with Brandon Phillips. And as Choo and Votto have been getting on at a tremendous pace, Phillips has benefited greatly from that. He is a run producing machine this year. 90 RBIs. 2nd in the National League behind Paul Goldschmidt, who has 93. Phillips has never driven in 100 runs in a season. He came close in 2009 when he drove in 98.
Well, think about it. I mean, every time he comes up, it seems like Choo and Votto are on base. They both have on base percentages over 400.
And that ball's hit high and deep to left center field. Gomez going back, and he's got it in front of the wall. Both runners will tag, and both will advance. Now, perhaps the cool temperatures here at Miller Park kept that one in. I think Phillips thought he hit that one out when it left the bat.
Yeah, a little bit off the end of the bat. That's what kept it in the ballpark. And Gomez just short of the wall. A cut fastball. Let's see where he makes contact. A little bit down on the end. Not much, but enough to keep it in. And Gomez able to make the catch.
Now, when this ballpark is all heated up in the throes of summer, it plays very small, but as it starts to cool off, and we're going to dip into the 60s tonight, it does favor the pitcher a little more. Still going to be a hitter's park no matter what. 2 gone for Jay Bruce now, the National League leader in extra base hits and total bases. 24 homers, 80 runs batted in. And gets a first inning at bat with runners at 2nd and 3rd. The Brewer killer, Jay Bruce. See where he ranks among National League hitters, and they're going to go ahead and walk him, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you get that guy on first base, at least you know where he's at. As much as he's killed Brewer pitching, and he go after Ludwig, the right-handed batter, coming off the disabled list.
So the 3rd walk of the inning. That'll be an intentional walk. And the bases are loaded for Ryan Ludwig. Yeah, Bruce, by the way, is a .310 hitter lifetime against Kyle Lohse. So that was a no-brainer once Lohse fell behind. So here comes Ludwig, and the Reds are hoping he is a big late season acquisition coming from their own ball club. He's been hurt since opening day. Tore the labrum in his shoulder in the 3rd inning of his opening day game, and he has missed 4 months. He returned on Monday. This is just his 3rd game back, and he's 0 for 7, and that is going to be caught at second base. Jeff Bianchi lays out. What a play on the soft line drive. That would have played it a couple of runs, but Bianchi showing some range and able to make a terrific play to end the inning. This one starts with a bang defensively. To end the top of the 1st, robbing Ryan Ludwig of a base hit and a couple of RBIs. And now the Crew ready to get started against Tony Sangrani. Nori Aoki leads off. Gene Segura, then Jonathan Lucroy. Middle of the order is Aramis Ramirez, Carlos Gomez, and Chris Davis, with Francisco, Bianchi, and Loesch rounding out the Piggly Wiggly Brewers batting order.
And left-hander Tony Sangrani on the mound, making his 15th start. He's 0-1 against the Brewers this year. He's made 2 starts already, 11 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. 5-1 as a starter, and as we mentioned, Sangrani taking the rotation spot of Johnny Cueto. Let's check out the Menards Red defense. They're very good defensively. Number 3 in the National League in fielding percentage. They've committed only 60 errors this year, but last in the National League in turning double plays, only 83. That speaks more to how good their pitching has been, and not so much that they've had bad defense up the middle. Very good. Cozart and Phillips, 2 of the best.
Yeah, Phillips, the Gold Glove Award winner. Nori Aoki leads off, shows bunt, and takes a strike from Sangrani. Sangrani's been bouncing back and forth between the starting rotation and the bullpen. Brewers have seen him once this season. Pitched against Milwaukee back on May 10th. It's kind of an odd game that day. Sangrani wasn't pitching that poorly, but he ran into some trouble in the 4th inning of that ball game, and he lasted just 4 innings, gave up 5 hits and just a couple of earned runs. His bullpen was able to clean it up for him. Sangrani started the year in the rotation, went back into the bullpen, and has returned to the rotation, and he's had a nice year. You put all the numbers together, and the fact that he's been kind of bounced around, he's done a good job. 15th start of the season. Came back in on the 3rd of July, and he'll make the play on Aoki for out number 1.
Yeah, only the Dodgers have a better starters earned run average than the Reds. The Reds are at 3.31 earned run average, and Grani been a big part of that.
Let's take it back to that play to end the 1st inning. If you're just joining us, Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery.
Ball had some hook on it, and you can see Bianchi angling back towards center field to give him a little bit more time to get it. And Bianchi playing most of the time at third base and doing a nice job over there.
And he's never had an at-bat against Cingrani, so it was pretty much a hunch for Ron Renicky. Scooter Jeanette's been playing very well, but Bianchi getting the chance to play second base tonight, already making an impact. Gene Segura with one away. Continues to be among league leaders in batting average. He's hitting .312. That's 7th in the league. And he is the National League leader in hits coming into play today. 145 base hits for Segura. Not a whole lot to complain about in Segura's game. He is doing it all defensively, offensively. He's hit for some power. He's got the great stolen base numbers. There's one area you'd like to see some improvement, and I'm sure it'll come as he gains experience in this game, but you'd like to see him take more walks and raise his on base percentage.
Well, instead of walks, he gets infield hits. Instead of taking pitches and walking, he's able to make contact on pitches that are out of the strike zone, even with 2 strikes. All those infield hits kind of make up for that a little bit, but you're right. Be a little bit more patient, get on a few more times.
In the air to center, that's playable for Chu. And Segura is retired. And it's an interesting thing. You can look at the straight statistical analysis of Segura, and you'd like to see more walks, but the spot he hits it in the batting order has a lot to do with that. He's typically hitting in front of the best Brewers hitter, whether it be Ryan Braun prior to the suspension or now Jonathan Lucroy. So he sees a lot more strikes than just about any other hitter in the lineup. But that's nitpicking. He's had a great year.
Yes, it is.
So Lucroy will bat with nobody on and 2 away. Comes in batting .282. 16 home runs, 61 driven in. Lucroy had a hit last night and walked twice. He was 1 for 2. What I remember about Cingrani in that start back in May, he threw a ton of fastballs against Milwaukee.
He hides the baseball pretty well. He's kind of like throws across his body, hides it behind his back, making it difficult to pick up for not just left-handers but right-handed batters. And not afraid to come inside and come up in the zone.
Exactly. And you ask him how does he survive with 1 pitch? He says, I don't. I've got an inside fastball, an outside fastball. I got a high fastball.
And every now and again he will throw a changeup, and he'll throw a curveball. And watch the way he kind of slings it, comes around, and throws across his body a little bit. That's what they call that. Making it tough to pick up. So you get 92, 93 miles an hour that appears maybe 95, 96 because it takes so long to see the baseball.
Well, he is from the Midwest, assuming he has a big pass list tonight. He's from New Lenox, Illinois. Played his college ball at Rice. 3-2 to Lucroy, and he fouls it back right off the catcher. And he went to Rice, and then he went to South Suburban College in Illinois, and then was drafted in 2011. He was a 3rd rounder in 11, but what many felt was a polished college pitcher, and was in the big leagues last year. He wasn't around long in the Reds minor league system. Matter of fact, when he had arrived to the big leagues, he had made just 44 starts in the minor leagues.
Nice to be left-handed. Those guys, a good arm, and you get outs in the minor leagues, you're not going to be down there very long.
He pulled the trifecta last year. He started the year in A-ball, went to Double-A, and then ultimately to the big leagues. Did spend a little time in Triple-A this season in Louisville. Made 6 starts there and dominated Triple-A. Well, he looks like a big leaguer to stay at this point. And he ties up Lucroy, strikes him out on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2-3 inning for Cingrani.
To the second, the Brewers announced today that Ricky Weeks underwent surgery on his torn left hamstring. He injured the hamstring August 7th on the road trip in San Francisco. The procedure done by Dr. James Andrews in Pensacola, Florida, to reattach that tendon to the bone. Athletic trainer Dan Wright saying it was the best option to do the surgery because it allows Ricky to get back to that normal anatomy, get back to full hamstring strength versus, 2/3 of the leg. Ricky is expected to make about 4 to 6 months of rehabilitation, should be back for spring training, guys.
Yeah, and he'll have to work hard. Thank you, Sophia. That's a tough injury for Weeks, and you could tell something was wrong right away the way he went off the field. He's one of the toughest guys that you could ever meet. We've seen Ricky deal with a lot of injuries throughout his career. He plays very hard, and these guys putting their heads together. Dan Wright, the head trainer, head athletic trainer. Dave Yeager is there. Josh Seligman, the strength coach. They'll have a plan for Ricky as he comes back, and that'll be a key year for him next year. He'll be a free agent after next season. In the meantime, the Brewers are going to go with Jeanette mostly at second base, and then Jeff Bianchi occasionally. Bianchi playing second tonight's already made a great catch. You'll see a lot of Bianchi over at third base as well as Ramirez tries to reacclimate, coming back from the DL.
It's kind of a good news, bad news scenario for the Brewers with respect to Ricky Weeks. He's done for the season, but you get to take a look at a couple of young players, Bianchi and Scooter Gennett has been outstanding since he's been giving everyday playing time. Day off for him today with the left-hander on the mound.
Now, Gennett had a great road trip. He was 10 for 20 on the road trip and hit 3 homers. Not what you'd expect out of Scooter Gennett. Had 2 of those in a game on Tuesday night in Texas. There's a broken bat, little flare. That's going to fall for Mesoraco at a base hit. So a long battle there, and on a 3-2 pitch, Mesoraco singles.
Yeah, Kyle's pitch count getting up there already in the second inning. Hey, on Sunday, September 1st, all fans in attendance get a Brewers-Angels game. Or in attendance at the Brewers-Angels game, we receive a bobblehead of Stormin Gorman Thomas, compliments of the Wisconsin National Guard. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
I saw Gorman Thomas today. He doesn't look like that anymore. He's got a little more facial hair. He was hanging around the batting cage today.
Yeah, good to see Gorman. I'd like another shot at that promo later in the game.
Tomorrow.
I know I could do better.
Tomorrow. It was a late night for you last night.
I butchered that one badly. I apologize.
You're a tremendous slouch, Rock. Don't take it so hard. Zach Cozart with a runner at first, hitting in the 8 spot. See, Baker's changed the lineup a little bit. He's got Frazier up there, a power hitter hitting second. Bouncer to short. Segura shovels it quickly to Bianchi, and a low throw dug out by Francisco, and the Brewers turn 2.
Kind of a strange throw for Jeff Bianchi. Hasn't played a whole lot over at second base, but Francisco, who's looking more comfortable each and every day over there at first, able to make the pick. The short hop a little bit easier for a first baseman than an in-between hop, and gets him easily at first base.
Goes 6-4-3 on the double play, and that leads us to our carsuit.com email the booth question. Do players feel sluggish coming home on the late night after a long road trip? Tony in Grafton wants to know that question. That's a loaded question. Got to be careful.
In my experience, and this is just my opinion, my experience, it's not so bad today. You got the adrenaline rush. You're coming home, and the first night, the night after you fly, is not as bad as the second day. Tomorrow, I would imagine that the guys are going to feel a little bit more sluggish than they did tonight.
The second day.
Second day.
So how's that promo going to go for you tomorrow?
Man, real bad. We're talking players now.
Oh, okay.
We're talking 40 and under. not mid-50s.
Cingrani takes a strike, and it's 3-1.
We're going to do that one again later on.
All right.
I will not be able to sleep.
Now, the bottom line of it all, these players are used to it. It's part of the deal.
Everybody goes through it.
You know, not many teams go through a stretch like the Brewers just had, where they played 16 out of 19 games on the road, but it's all part of the gig. It beats working. And they got their rest. Little pop-up foul and out of play. Cingrani in a full count now. Lowe shaking his head a little bit. He fell behind him quickly. 3-0. He's having to work a little to finish this inning off.
Man, he's at 38 pitches already.
Cingrani pulls one over to Bianchi. He's been active tonight. 3-batter inning for Kyle Loesch. Headed to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second. Fantasy football has met its match, Rock. This season, one lucky fan will get a chance to join the Fox Sports Girls Fantasy Football League. Enter now at foxsports.com/fantasy draft for your chance to win a trip to LA for the live draft event, and you can compete against the Fox Sports Girls this season. It feels like a a fall football kind of night tonight as the temperatures dip into the 60s.
They've had the marching band out there on the field before the game tonight. Reminds you of a football scenario, didn't it?
I like the band. It reminded me of those Friday nights, high school Friday nights, the Friday Night Lights, except it's Thursday and it's a baseball game. There's a lot of kids in the ballpark tonight, trying to squeeze in as much Brewer baseball at Miller Park before school starts, especially on the weeknights. And expecting some good crowds during this homestand with the Reds and the Cardinals here. Aramis Ramirez leading off. I think it would be safe to say that his timing is a little off, but actually he's swung the bat okay. At least he did yesterday. He barreled up a couple of pitches and didn't have anything to show for it. Ramirez was 0 for 3, did score a run.
Well, you figure it's going to take him a while. He's missed so much time and did not go on a rehab assignment. In particular, last night's ball game, he got some pitches to hit. I mean, fastballs right down the middle, and just fouled him straight back. Pitches that ordinarily Ramirez is going to hit pretty well. Tough transition going from batting practice speed against coaches to big league fastballs, even for a guy with experience like Ramirez.
And he chased one. Ramirez down on strikes. The high fastball gets him. 2 Ks now for Sengrani. He's retired the first 4. Let's give you an update. We check in on the action from earlier today in St. Louis. This was Matt Holliday in the 12th inning, and that is a walk-off base hit. Scoring Matt Carpenter. Holliday gives the Cardinals a series win. St. Louis beating the Pirates 6-5. Pittsburgh has dropped 4 of their last 5 ball games. And the Pirates' lead in the division is shrinking. The Cardinals are now within 2. The Reds are within 3. Pittsburgh has 71 wins for the year. The Braves have the best record in the National League at 74-47.
And if things ended right now, all 3 teams, the top 3 teams in the Central, would be in the playoffs.
Gomez takes a ball high. Now it looks like the 5 spots in the National League are going to come down to 6 teams. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the team that is on the outside looking in right now, but they've won 3 in a row. They've won 3 straight, and they're still 7.5 back of their division foe, the Dodgers. Dodgers are now 70-50. They've won 8 in a row. Gomez, an ugly swing, and down he goes. Sengrani, using that well-located fastball, has 3 Ks already.
Yeah, back on July 9th, right here at Miller Park, Sengrani had 10 strikeouts. 10 strikeouts in 7 innings of work, but he picked up a loss. So he can punch you out. Season high for him is 11. That came against the Nationals back in April.
2 gone for Chris Davis. Davis had a good road trip as well. Had a couple of home runs, one in San Francisco, one in Texas. And they were both rainmakers. They were almost identical home runs. This was off Alexi Ogando, and this is one that hit the foul pole in left field.
And pretty good ways up that foul pole too. That's no cheapie for Davis, able to keep it fair. Almost an identical home run in San Francisco off of Barry Zito.
Just thinking about the pitching the Brewers just faced on the last road trip, and the fact that they had a winning road trip. San Francisco, they faced Kane, Bumgarner, and Lincecum. They got Iwakuma and Hernandez, 2 of the top pitchers in the American League, and then they got Ogando and Garza in Texas. I mean, I think any team would take a winning road trip against those caliber of pitchers.
And they had Garza beat. He left the game. Garza did when he was down in the game, but the bullpen not able to hold on last night.
And two of those guys, Hernandez and Bumgarner, making a run at a potential Cy Young, especially Hernandez, Felix Hernandez. That's going to be a fun debate coming down the stretch. If those two continue to pitch well, Felix Hernandez for the Seattle Mariners, who has already won a Cy Young award, and then Max Scherzer, who is 17-1 for the Detroit Tigers. Been a huge winner this year.
Max Scherzer pitching for a winning team, and Felix Hernandez is not, and that certainly has an impact if it's close. Well, that Felix Hernandez, that's the first time I've ever seen him pitch in a regular season game. We've seen him in spring training. That guy's filthy.
Davis launches one deep to left, and the Brewers are on the board as Chris Davis goes deep. On a 3-2 offering from Cingrani. Chris Davis with his second career Miller Park home run. There was no doubt about that one.
Well, he looks like a different guy, second time up in the big leagues. Getting an opportunity to get a lot of playing time and taking advantage of it. And that baseball nearly over everything in the second deck. There it is. Got a fastball in up in the strike zone, number 5 for Chris Davis, our Powerball home run count. And watch where this one lands, way back and left.
That one went right under Bernie's slide, deep into the Lowe's level out in left center. Davis had 13 home runs in 69 AAA games, and already 5 in the big leagues this year. Brewers now have 11 home runs in the last 10 games. Francisco has 11 home runs since June 25th. And if you start the record keeping from that date, that is the most home runs in the National League. Juan Francisco, and Davis has turned this lineup into a power hitting lineup once again.
Yeah, Brewers have hit more home runs than the Reds, if you can believe that.
0-2 to Francisco, and a swing and a miss, and the former Red is out. Cingrani strikes out the side, but not before Chris Davis launches one into the Lowe's level, and the Brewers have the early lead tonight.
Lead as we head to the third, and the Brewers finally back at home after a 9-game trip that took them through San Francisco, Seattle, and Arlington, but they emerged with a 5-4 record. There were some standout performances along the way. Our AT&T Twitter poll asking fans which player had the biggest impact on the road trip. Marco Estrada made a strong comeback from the disabled list, giving up just 1 run. Willie Peralta, Juan Francisco, Scooter Gennett all put up big numbers. So BA fans can tweet us at FS Wisconsin. Francisco and Gennett swinging the hottest bats. Each of them hit 3 home runs on the trip, and Gennett now riding a 7-game hitting streak.
And Gennett with the left-hander on the mound tonight, getting the day off from the starting lineup. You'll likely see him later. The one lefty that's in there is Francisco. He and Aoki, the 2 left-handed bats that Renicky doesn't mind using against left-handed pitching. Francisco had a couple of opposite field home runs on the road trip as well. Loesch back at the top of the order. Shin-Soo Choo leading off this 3rd inning. And Loesch strikes him out. Climbs the ladder to get Choo. Guy doesn't strike out much.
Well, our head and shoulders whip, the first of the night for Kyle Loesch. He's been struggling with his command early on tonight, but able to get Choo on a pitch up in the zone. Looked like a cutter that was a little bit out of the strike zone, up around the letters, and Choo underneath.
And here is Todd Frazier. Frazier grounded out in the 1st inning. Loesch walked 3 batters in that 1st inning. One of those was intentional. He walked Choo and Votto. Pitched around Jay Bruce and then got the soft line drive out from Ludwig. Great diving play by Jeff Bianchi in that 1st inning.
Well, he hasn't been a lot of solid contact against Loesch so far tonight. Couple off the end, couple down on the handle.
Loesch ready to go. Frazier stepping in and out. And a 2-1. Frazier in the air, center field for Gomez. And there are 2 outs now in the 3rd. America's new sports network is almost here. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for live sports. Shows like Crowd Goes Wild, Fox Football Daily, and Fox Sports Live. The news and highlights show fans have been waiting for. Fox Sports Live. America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1, premieres in 2 days. And they're working hard, putting the final touches on rehearsals and the sets and the flow. It's been a massive undertaking to launch a new network. We wish them the best of luck.
It's flow. What's the flow?
It's all about, you know, kind of like the flow you're experiencing right now.
With you? No, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know, the conversation,
Yeah.
you know, the banter, the flow between 2
Yeah.
somewhat interested parties.
The ham and egging.
Right. I got it.
Kind of like Loesch and Lucroy right now.
It does take practice, you know, a little bit of rehearsal. You're right.
That's why Rock and I were here about 4 o'clock today, working on
Our flow.
Working on our flow. That's the most important flow of them all right there. Lucroy and Loesch, pitcher and catcher.
Well, that didn't miss by much, but Joey Votto, you hardly ever see him swing out of the strike zone. Probably the most disciplined hitter in baseball right now.
Lets that one fly, and he's late on it. Count is 2-2. It's been rumored that a pitch goes by and Votto doesn't swing, and then he tells the umpire whether it's a strike or not. You can call that. You don't see him getting called out on strikes very often. 2-2, and this time it goes down that way as good Loesch. That was excellent flow. And Loesch strikes out Votto to end the inning. Well placed cutter from Kyle Loesch. Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. It's a beautiful night here in Milwaukee. And the Brewers have the early lead tonight, 1-0 over the Reds as we head to the bottom of the third. Tony Cingrani back on the mound for Cincinnati. The young left-hander will face Bianchi to start it, then Loesch, and then to the top of the order, Naoki. Bianchi has already impacted this game defensively with a diving catch that saved a couple of runs in the first. Been part of a pivot on a double play. A versatile utility man, Jeff Bianchi, can also play the outfield, and he is the emergency catcher. He actually has his own catcher's equipment down there. And that's going to fall for a base hit. So Bianchi is aboard, the second hit for the Brewers tonight against Cingrani.
And Bianchi hoping that he never has to strap that stuff on in the game, and so is Ron Rennick, I would imagine. There's that fastball from Cingrani, again up in the strike zone. He lives upstairs, and he lives by the sword, dies by the sword. Gets a lot of strikeouts, but he will give up some home runs. 11 home runs he's given up, including the one to Chris Davis tonight.
Bianchi making just his 10th start at second base this season. A shortstop by trade, getting a lot of playing time elsewhere this year. So here is Loesch to try to bunt him over, and they got him picked off. Boy, Bianchi in a rundown, and he's out, and that just can't happen. It's just one of those mistakes the Brewers have seen all too much of this season.
Yeah, the Brewers made some outs on the bases last night. A couple of guys, Gomez and Segura, got thrown out at third base last night. Both times with one out, and here's another out on the bases. Getting picked off with a pitcher up. No excuse for that.
So that makes Loesch a hitter now instead of a bunter. Cingrani does have a great move, there's no question about it, but the Brewers know that.
Man, you know, Loesch is going to be bunting. You're not going anywhere until he drops it down.
Well, the two mound opponents, check our Charter Cable high-speed velocity. Cingrani at 94, Loesch is at 91. Brewers had a couple of runners eliminated from the base paths yesterday, thrown out at third base. A couple of perfect throws from Leonis Martin of the Rangers. Oh, and 2 on Loesch. Down he goes. So Cingrani now with 5 Ks. 2 outs in the third. Back to the top of the order in Aoki.
And doing it predominantly with fastballs. I mean, he really hadn't thrown too many off-speed pitches. A couple of change-ups that missed badly. He'll throw the curveball from time to time. Hadn't thrown too many of those either, but it's one fastball after another. And that's what we've seen from him in 2 starts prior to tonight. See a lot of young pitchers coming up from the minor leagues doing that.
Aoki hits it sharply right to Cozart, and he makes a play to win the inning. Brewers get a leadoff single. He is picked off, and Cingrani is through the third.
Aoki's biggest fan. I'm joined by 12-year-old Ken Yoseki. He is a 12-year-old who is from Mizaki, the same area that Nori Aoki is from. He is here in the United States for a month. He's spending a month in Green Bay with the Bougie family here next to me. He has been here a few weeks, and he was so excited to come here to Miller Park and see Nori Aoki. He brought with him from Japan a book full of newspaper clippings of Nori Aoki. He follows his career. He has the jersey. He has a 6-foot sign that he made for Nori that says, "Nori, hit one for me and Mizaki." So Kenyo very excited to be here and hang out with Nori. And Kenyo, we couldn't send you home empty-handed, so I've got a signed Nori Aoki baseball here for you. He wanted you to go home with a baseball. How's that?
Oh my gosh. Thank you very much.
Excited?
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope you enjoy the game.
As Brandon Phillips sends Gomez back. And Gomez makes the catch and crashes up against the wall.
Oh my.
He's grabbing his hip. A terrific play by Gomez, and that one stung him a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he just throws his body around, no regard for himself, and just looking to make catches, and he made a beauty right there. My goodness. Well, he hurt his shoulder badly early in the year going back on a ball in center field at Miller Park. And went back on that one and crashed hard into that center field padding. Man. He's something else out there.
Another great catch. He's having a Gold Glove caliber season in the outfield. Brewers haven't had an outfielder win a Gold Glove since 1979. Sixto Lescano, and Gomez is trying to walk this off. Head athletic trainer Dan Wright is out with him.
It's going to be tough for him to stay in there, isn't it? Well, look at this. I mean, has a good idea where he is on the field, but loses his balance and bango. And grabbing his side, his buttocks back there, and he's something else. When he's no fear of that wall out there in center field.
Trying to run it off, but he's in a lot of pain, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to continue in this game.
Yeah, he's hurting.
And he knows it. So Dan Wright pulls the plug. Ron Renicki's out there with him, and the Brewers are going to have to go to their bench. So it was a great play, but it comes at a price.
And it really never even did take a peek at that wall until he had the ball in his glove and crashed badly out there. I mean, that's a padding, but it's a firm pad. It doesn't really help a whole lot. Gomez is going to have to lead. Logan Schaefer is going to take over in center field. That's a tough break.
He plays the game so hard and with no fear. Schaefer is a very accomplished center fielder in his own right, so the Brewers don't lose much, if anything at all, defensively, but certainly a big bat that is out of this game, and a right-handed bat against Tony Sangrani. So we will get an update on Gomez as it becomes available. He has made a habit of making catches up against these Miller Park walls. He's saved 4 home runs this season. He has been a highlight reel all on his own. And if he doesn't win the Gold Glove this year,
yeah, something's wrong. I mean, really. I mean, there's nobody really even close to what Gomez has been able to do this year in center field. And he's got the offensive numbers to back it up. Not that that should matter, but it does.
All right, so Gomez is out, Schaefer is in, and here is Jay Bruce, and he'll give Schaefer a chance at one right away. That's going to fall for a base hit. Now, all of that happened. We didn't get a chance to follow up on the Nori Aoki story. That's a nice touch. He gets to come to Milwaukee and an exchange student in Green Bay and see his favorite player, Nori Aoki. Nori said he signs baseballs over here in English cursive, not in the kanji handwriting. And we asked him why. Because it takes too long. I like the way you guys sign over here.
Quick.
Just a little scribble with an N and an A and a number 7, and you're good to go.
Illegible too. Yeah, most autographs are tough to figure out. You can't tell who's signed except for Jim Ganton.
Yeah.
Ever seen Gumby's autograph?
It's beautiful.
Perfect penmanship.
Yeah, a lot of the old timers. Bob Uecker's that way too. He really takes his time. And signs where you can read every letter. And I think that's kind of a lost art, the art of the autograph. You think about Babe Ruth's famous signature. But Aoki said it took him, you know, a couple of tries to learn his name, how to write his name in English cursive. And he was hooked. He said, that's the way I'm signing from now on. It was interesting in Chicago, John Shelby, the assistant hitting coach, he still carries with him a Japanese flag. It's like a tabletop flag, and Sadahara O signed it, but he signed it in kanji, the Japanese handwriting. And Aoki was saying that in Japan he'll do that, but most Japanese players, even in Japan these days, they'll sign it in the English cursive. And you see what Aoki's name looks like in kanji.
Right there. Both of them up there at the top of the batting orders. Korean and Japanese.
Shin-Soo Choo. That's Jerry Naren's magic touch. Nobody fills out a lineup card like Jerry Naren, the bench coach. It's a thing of art.
Calligraphy. And he's available for wedding invitations.
Yes, he is. 2-1 on Ludwig. Bouncing ball towards third. Ramirez got to hustle it over to second. That's one. And there's two. And Los gets out of the inning. They go around the horn this time. 5-4-3. Jeff Bianchi showing off that shortstop arm over at second base. Inning over. Homer in the second inning, heading to the bottom of the fourth. Well, Beyond the Diamond is a series of community outreach events that will take place during the season from May to August. These events involve partnering with Brewers Community Foundation, Brewers players, coaches, Brewers wives, alumni, and team personnel. They're all working hands-on in the community, funded in part by the Brewers Community Foundation. And earlier today, more than 200 volunteers from the Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation and the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee organized an event from Kaboom, and residents of the Milwaukee community joined forces. It's a new playground.
Yeah.
And the playground was designed by the children in the community, so very cool. And after a late night and players showing up for that event today, good job on them.
Yeah, it gives you a sense, and that kind of proves that they really like getting out in the community and doing things like that. They didn't have to, but there they were. Good to see them out. Good for the kids.
Gene Segura leading off this fourth inning. He'll be followed by Lucroy and then Ramirez. Carlos Gomez is out of the game after injuring his hip or his backside, crashing up against the wall. We'll wait on an official report. So an injury-plagued season, and the Brewers see their star center fielder exit.
Well, and another opportunity for another young player, Logan Schaefer. He's been in and out of the lineup. Most of his time he's been out on the left, along with Chris Davis.
Segura back up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Cozart throws in time. Boy, what a play that was from Zach Cozart.
Man, he's got a nice arm. That big arm out there up the middle. Knew he had to be quick because Segura, nobody has more infield hits than Gene Segura. Here it comes up the middle. And Cozart able to get him by half a step. Yep, got him.
A bang bang play and a good call over there by Mark Wegner. So maybe next year Ron Roenicke might appeal that. Big news today across Major League Baseball.
Yeah, talking about expanding replay.
Starting next season. Still a few hurdles to go through, but you have to think these have all been discussed. The owners agreed to expanding replay to next year. Now the umpires union and the players union have to agree to that. As Lucroy rolls one over to third, Frazier throws it high. Votto gets his toe back on the bag in time. 2 outs. So as I understand it, Rock, the way the rule is going to work, it's going to be a challenge system, and managers are going to get 3 challenges, and you can use one of those challenges in the first 6 innings, and then you have 2 available for all the innings after that. But if you challenge and you are proven correct, then it doesn't count against you. So for all the old schoolers out there, it's going to be a little bit of a change.
Yeah, here we go.
In the tradition. As a matter of fact, Doug Melvin was one of the few general managers that voted against it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You agree with Doug, or you agree with the rule?
I agree with Doug.
You're in the minority.
I'll just leave it at that.
I'm all for it.
I know you are.
I think it'll be. I know the biggest concern, and we're going to have Bruce Fremming on tomorrow. We're going to have a long chat about this. You know, Bruce will have some information for us. And I think the biggest question is, how will it affect time of game? Time of game is a concern for Major League Baseball. Games are getting longer. They've actually been shortened up over the last couple of years, believe it or not. But
yeah, Major League Baseball says it's going to speed up play, and I'd like to see how that's going to work.
You are a cynic right now, aren't you?
I don't know. We'll see how it works. I mean, I'm willing to, got an open mind. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to have to, live with it. One challenge in the first 7 innings, then you get 2 in the 8th and 9th, and an extra inning. Is that how it works?
I think it's the first 6, but that's a basic idea. You have 1. I could be wrong on that. I didn't see the.
Well, it says new replay system will give managers 3 challenges per game, but only 1 before the 7th inning. So yeah, 6 innings.
So, but you brought up a good point before the broadcast today about, how managers and coaches, they're always looking for the extra angle. And could you use a challenge to get a pitcher ready that may not be, to set up a different kind of matchup? There's a called strike 3. Sengrani rings up Ramirez. We'll have a lot more on that topic tomorrow during our Brewers Reds broadcast.
Lead as we head to the 5th, and get your Southwest Airlines can koozie tomorrow as your Brewers take on the Reds at 7:10 p.m. And as part of the birthday weekend at Bernie's, the first 20,000 fans will receive a Southwest Airlines Bernie Brewer can koozie. Visit brewers.com/Bernie40. So come on out, get your koozie, and keep your drink cold, right, BA?
That's how you do it. The Bernie koozie, that is even better. Thank you, Sophia. As we head to the 5th inning, Kyle Loesch back at work. Kind of labored through the first inning, but has been good since. As a matter of fact, he has faced the minimum since that first inning. Despite giving up 2 hits, he has gotten double play balls twice. Devin Mesoraco, Zach Cozart, Tony Cingrani, bottom of the order coming up. Mesoraco had 1 of those hits, a single in the second. The Brewers lead on a Chris Davis home run. It was a bomb into left field. That was in the second, and they measured it at 458 feet. There's a hot one, backhanded Bianchi, long throw, and not in time, at a collision, and the ball skips away, and Mesoraco on his way to second base.
That'll be a base hit and an error on somebody, maybe Juan Francisco. Well, Juan Francisco is standing right on top of first base trying to make that play. Devin Mesoraco runs right into him, knocks the ball out of his glove, and he's probably going to get an error on that play. Well, what a play by Bianchi, making it close. Right back through the middle. Look at the range of Bianchi, and check out Francisco right in the path of Mesoraco, and you got to believe. Now he touches the base runner. You can't do that.
He should be out.
He should be out. Now there's the replay situation. Watch Billy Hatcher. He's going to touch the base runner. You cannot do that. You can't touch him.
Billy Hatcher, the first base coach. Now that would be a great example of one that might be challenged. There's a bouncing ball that's through for a base hit. So Cozart singles. They're going to send the runner. Here comes a throw from Schaefer. And a short hop, and Mesoraco is in there. Too tough of a hop for Lucroy to handle.
Yeah, you really can't do much about that. That one of those in-between hops, and tough for a catcher with that catcher's mitt. Well, so the infield hit error is going to end up coming around to score. That'd be interesting to see if Billy Hatcher actually touched the base runner and telling him to get to second base. Boy, that's a tough hop. I mean, that's a tough hop for anybody to handle, particularly a catcher.
Well, the Brewers had an out with a good throw. Either a throw with a longer hop or one that carried all the way. And Mesoraco able to score. Cingrani trying to get a bunt down. Yeah, just going back to that play, it looked like Mesoraco, you know, he was
on the ground.
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
know where
talking
the ball
to
was.
Francisco. He's,
right.
You know, seeing if he's okay. He had already essentially given up on the play until Hatcher came over and alerted him that it's time to take off. There's a bunt. Ramirez, his only play is first. Sacrifice bunt. So let's take you through that sequence here.
And base coaches are not supposed to touch base runners. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. I'm not sure what I was looking at, but not even close. And Devin Mesoraco gets into second base. So much for that. That wasn't even in the same vicinity.
It was a good brushing up on the rules, though. And from the first angle, it looked like he
did touch him.
Certainly had it close enough to have contact.
So if Ron Renicky asked for a replay, he would have lost.
Well, we're all tied at 1. Couple of hits in this 5th inning. Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike. Check in with Sophia. She's got an update on Carlos Gomez.
Brian, Carlos left tonight's game with a right knee sprain, and he will undergo an MRI tomorrow morning. So right knee sprain for Gomez.
Now that's not good, and an MRI already scheduled is really concerning news. And he was clutching at his hip, it looked like, but the knee is what is the official injury from the clubhouse. So the beat goes on for the Brewers on the injury front. Let's hope Carlos is all right. Reds have a run in on 2 hits. RBI by Cozart ties the game. Chu is 0 for 1 with a walk against Loesch. Loesch struck him out his last time up, and the 1-2 is inside for a ball. That's the pitch he struck him out on in the 3rd inning. Cozart has good wheels at second, and back in there. Loesch misses. Chu's not afraid to stand right in there. He gets hit by a ton of pitches. Pitchers know they have to pitch him inside to be effective. There's a strikeout in there available at times, but he does get hit a lot. Leads the league in that category, as a matter of fact, with 23.
Man, 23 hit by pitches. That's one of the reasons why his on base percentage is over 400 at 408.
He and Starling Marte of the Pirates get beamed a lot. Chu's been an ideal leadoff hitter for the Reds. He's got some power. He's hit 15 homers this year. He leads all major league leadoff hitters in home runs, walks, hit by pitches, and on base percentage. Doing what you're supposed to do at that spot. And Loesch misses inside, ball 4. So Chu's been on twice. Loesch just couldn't quite get to that inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, didn't want to leave one out over the plate. He's got first base open, so put him on and get Frazier, maybe get a ground ball. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Retro's Pub in Oshkosh, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
2 on, 1 out. Here's Frazier now. By the way, the error on the Mesoraco play is going to belong to Bianchi. It's a tough error for either player, but Bianchi made the throw that caused the disruption, I guess. So he gets an error. Thought for a moment there it was going to be a spectacular play to get it out.
Yeah, well, I think he gets the error because the ball short hopped. It bounced. Whether he had it ever in his glove and controlled it, it's an issue. I don't know if he did or not, but yeah, you can't really fault either guy on that play, really. What do they say? No good deed goes unpunished. A good play up the middle. You make a decent throw and you get an error.
Here's a chance at 2. Segura bobbles, low throw. Bianchi recovers in time to get the out. Boy, what a double play. That one was questionable. Segura got it tied up in his glove. The Brewers turn their 3rd DP.
report. Playing rookie ball for Helena, Michael Rattery last night went 1 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Through 45 games this season, he has hit 8 long balls for more than 40 RBIs. And Ron Renneke weighed in earlier today on the replay announcement, said, you know, he's fine with replays because quite frankly, he was sick of arguing, but he's worried about the implementation of the challenge system. He said the NFL, the way they do it, you know, he's got somebody with a headset on. He wondered, am I going to have to start wearing a headset? And, you know, was just worried about the implementation, especially having the video replay being done in New York versus locally. So Ron had mixed feelings on the announcement.
Yeah, and I think a lot of managers are that way. And I think everybody's concerned about how it's going to be implemented and how it's going to function. And I think there's going to be some, you know, there's going to be a grace period where guys are going to start to figure it out. Doug Melvin did say that there would be somebody assisting the manager, and every organization is going to have this guy who's watching, and probably multiple people watching replays and be able to help him make that call. Communication will have to be discussed, but believe me, there are already communication measures in place,
right,
concerning replays and managers.
Right.
They may not have the flexibility to go
Right.
change it, but they know when they're arguing or not.
I was going to say you and I could tell him, but we botched that one play over there with Billy Hatch.
That's right.
I think Renneke would have been a little bit upset with us up on that one.
We would have cost him a challenge.
Right. Yeah, just have him look up here and say, you know,
Yeah, just
give him a hand signal and say.
maybe get a series of flashlights going for them or something.
Right.
I'm all for us being more involved in that decision. We can have some fun with it.
I am not.
No, I know. And that's why they will run replays out of New York and not from our truck or our production, as Logan Schaefer strikes out. In the game for Gomez, who left with a right knee sprain. Schaefer, it's a tough matchup against a left-handed pitcher. Yeah, you know, there's not going to be a flag. There's not going to be, you know, the red flag that they have in the NFL. There's going to have to be some communication discussion. How do you challenge? Basically, it's going to be a play that happens, somebody watching the video. If it's called wrong, it's going to be an instant yell out to the manager, challenge it, and then he'll go out and argue. So I think the idea ultimately is that there will be fewer arguments.
That sounds real smooth, what you just described.
Yeah, I think it'll work fine.
Is that the way your house operates?
I've always felt like there should be a fifth umpire, though.
I agree with that.
An eye in the sky who's watching replays.
I've said that forever.
But I'm not sure that's where they're headed.
5-man umpiring rotation. One of those rotations is the replay.
There's a strike to Davis. He hit the home run back in the second inning. And we are tied at 1, playing in the bottom of the 5th at Miller Park.
It'll be interesting to see. It's all going to start next year.
Well, the technology is so advanced now. The cameras are so good. The lenses, the HD technology, the slow motion technology. It's all coming together. Remember earlier we had the Phantom Cam, and that was kind of a test run for a lot of reasons. One of those would be replays. That ball's hit well right center, and Bruce will run it down. Boy, Davis hit that like a bullet.
He hit a bomb to left and hit one very well to right. He does have a couple of home runs to the opposite field. Got good power. And swinging the bat well right now.
2 outs for Juan Francisco, who steps into scoring position when he steps in the batter's box. And he's coming off a 3-home run road trip. He hit 2 of those last night against Matt Garza. Opposite field for the first one. He pulled the second one.
And the second one was a 3-run shot.
And he's second on the club in home runs, the Powerball leaderboard, behind Gomez. There's a lot to like about Francisco's game. He's got his challenges defensively, but he can really hit with power, and power plays in this league. I think he's actually improved a lot at first base, and he had a long way to go. Down he goes on strikes, and Grani wipes him out quickly. And that'll be a 3-up, 3-down inning. A couple of Ks for Cingrani.
Even at 1, are you coming out to Miller Park this month? Bring your appetite for food, drink, and baseball, because we're treating all fans who come out to August home games will receive a $10 voucher valid for food, drink, tickets, and merchandise. For details, visit brewers.com/eat-free. Kyle Loesch back to work. Tyler Thornburg told me earlier today it's like a work of art watching how Loesch prepares, goes through his game plan, executes. He said he's just learning so much from the veteran every day, especially those days when he gets to sit right next to him between starts and just gets to soak up all the knowledge.
They've been a great addition, Kyle Loesch. Outstanding leadership and certainly a mentor for a lot of these young pitchers. And we talked about it a few innings ago that since August 1st, the Brewers starting rotation has the best earned run average of any team in Major League Baseball.
Joey Votto sends that one deep to right center field, and that is way out of here. Up into the Toyota territory. Joey Votto gives the Reds the lead on a booming home run. That's his 18th of the season. And it is 2-1 Cincinnati. A leadoff home run in the 6th for Votto.
Yeah, Loesch got behind 2-0, and Votto wasn't about to take that pitch. He will take pitches just about all night. There's a changeup or something off speed. Votto able to wait back on a 2-0 changeup and knock it out of here. Who looks for that pitch? Yeah, Votto able to wait back and knock it out of here into the Toyota territory.
Good catch up there.
I mean, it's a good pitch, not a very good location, but a good idea.
So here is Brandon Phillips. Cincinnati looks like they are ready to make a run. They're already making that run. They've won 8 out of their last 10 games, 9 of their last 13. 6 days ago, they were down 7 games in the division. Now they're 3 back. They got a chance to go to 2.5 back if they win tonight. Pittsburgh lost earlier today to the Cardinals in 12 innings. It's going to be a tight race down the stretch with those 3 teams. And the Brewers are going to see them all here in the coming weeks. Cardinals are coming in next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here at Miller Park. Brewers are entering into a stretch of games against their own division. 32 of the next 35 games against the National League Central. That Angels series you mentioned earlier, the only non-Central Division series in that stretch. Phillips rolls one to short. Segura's got to hurry, and he makes a play in time. Phillips is out, 1 gone. Now, right now on FoxSportsWisconsin.com, a corn maze done in the likeness of new Wisconsin head coach Gary Anderson. I've seen that. It's amazing. Complete coverage from Paul Immick from Packers training camp, and Brandon Knight embraces being the point guard for the Bucks.
That's a pretty good pun you just threw out there. Amazing. Come on. Has it been that kind of night? Can I throw a challenge on that?
That's our good flow right there.
Can I challenge that?
You're going to throw the red flag?
I only get one. It's the 6th inning.
Jay Bruce takes a strike. Well, you'll be amazed.
I already am.
It looks just like him, and it's in a cornfield. How do they do that?
I don't know.
I think it might, you know, the skeptical nature would tell you that it's doctored digitally, but it's real. Who knows? Let's go to the website. You can see what we're talking about.
Check it out.
0-2 to Bruce, and Loesch misses low. Brewers have just the 1 run on 2 hits. Home run by Davis in the 2nd. That's been it. Yeah, Bruce takes a ball. Boy, that was close. 2-2. By the way, the new rules next year, you cannot challenge balls and strikes.
That's a good eye by Jay Bruce. Just misses that inside corner.
Rolls over this one. Slow roller to first, and Francisco will take it to the bag. 2 outs now.
I guess you got to keep up with the times, right? I mean, the grand old game, you know, very traditional and old school, more than any of the other games, you know, major sports. And I guess you have the technology, might as well use it. Can't be complaining about, you know, calls that you don't think are right anymore, at least on the field.
Well, that's where I stand on it. The technology is there and available. Baseball has been very diligent about it. It's been a lot of debate, a lot of discussion. Commissioner has been slow to react because he wants to make sure to get it right, and they feel like they have the right formula moving forward, and then we'll have to kind of see how it all plays out next season.
Yeah, Joe Madden had some nice comments. Of course I like the replay. I like high definition TV. I like air conditioning. If you don't like replay, do away with all those things.
Ryan Ludwig flies out, summing it up well. Joe Madden. Votto goes deep. Reds have the lead. Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Oh, good night for the Brat tonight in a runaway. The famous racing sausages. We missed them. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Headed to the bottom of the sixth inning. I want to say hello to 7-year-old Braden Anderson, no relation. But he's a huge fan. He's watching at home, recovering from an injury, and we want to send our best to Braden. And thanks for watching. We're thinking about you, buddy, and hope you heal fast.
Yeah, said that he woke up from surgery and asked right away how the Brewers were doing. That is a fan, isn't it?
He's a BA, you know. He's a Braden Anderson. From one BA to another. Jeff Bianchi into right for Bruce, and out number one, and Cingrani is dealing right now against the Brewers. Just that one run allowed, that home run by Davis. Bianchi had the other hit, which was a single, and 8 Ks.
Struck out the side in the second, but in that inning, Chris Davis hit a solo home run, accounting for the Brewers' only tally tonight.
Here's Kyle Loesch. Loesch giving up the home run to Votto. That gave the Reds the lead. Brewers scored in the second. The Reds got one in the fifth on a Cozart RBI single, and then the Votto home run. Loesch has 7 hits this year. Not a bad hitter. He's hitting 163. 7 for 43 at the plate. Top of the order due up next, and Loesch is down on strikes. Number 9 for Cingrani. Second time he has struck out his mound opponent.
Yeah, Brewers having a tough time. I think you know, most of the opponents against Cingrani have had a tough time squaring up on him. And a 287 earned run average in his 15th start tonight, and doing it primarily with the fastball. And we talked about the fact that he throws across his body, making it tough to pick up, and apparently that's been the case.
You see his fastball percentage at 84% of his pitches, and that's a little higher than his season average. As Aoki drops a bunt down, Votto backhand shovels, no chance. Aoki with a beautiful bunt, and Nori is aboard on an infield hit.
Yeah, indefensible when you put it there. You get it by the pitcher, you push it towards second base. And first baseman is kind of caught in no man's land. Do I go after it? Do I stay at first? And Cingrani not able to get there in time.
Nori Aoki has the highest batting average among left-handed hitters against left-handed pitchers this season. He's hitting .324 against him. And he is aboard on a bunt single, giving Segura a swing at Cingrani in the 6th inning. Segura made a bid for an infield hit in the 4th. Took a terrific play by Cozart. He's 0 for 2. Cingrani picked off Aoki earlier this year.
And tremendous move, a very close to a balk move. Whether that foot goes to a 45-degree angle when he goes to first base, a little bit of a gray area there, but that's what makes him so difficult to get a good jump.
He's picked off a runner tonight, Bianchi. Officially a caught stealing, but 4 times Cingrani has pickoffs. this season.
Like catchers love it when pitchers have good moves. Runners don't get good jumps. Much easier to throw them out when they try to steal.
Back to the fastball. And Segura out to Phillips. And that will retire the side. So Cingrani is through 6, and he is sharp. 2-1. The Reds have the lead. Loesch back to work in the 7th.
Ladies and gentlemen, our
By Toyota. Tony Cingrani's been on the top of his game. He's only given up 1 run. A Chris Davis home run that came back in the 2nd inning. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. Chris Davis with his 5th home run. This one a launch job into the seats in left field. And Joey Votto accounting for a run, a solo home run in the 6th inning. Good pitchers duel here at Miller Park. 2-1 Reds as we continue here in the 7th.
And first man up is Mesoraco. Right between the legs of Loesch, right to Bianchi for out number 1. Mesoraco's had that up the middle approach. He's got 2 hits tonight. He scored the first Reds run on that infield hit. Ended up as a collision at first base. Took advantage of the ball that trickled away. And he ended up scoring on a base hit by Cozart, who has bounced into a double play and driven in a run with a single. Cincinnati essentially calling Cozart their shortstop of the future. They made that decision, and that was never more clear than when they traded away Didi Gregorius. Cozart down on strikes. Boy, Loesch ate him up inside.
And both pitchers getting a lot of mileage out of fastballs on the inner half. Hey, every Friday, high school and college students can purchase select tickets at special savings courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Visit Brewers.com/students for details.
2 gone. Cingrani the batter, the pitcher. Made 1 start at Miller Park back on the 9th of July. He went 7 innings in that game, gave up 2 runs. He struck out 10. Cingrani has 9 strikeouts tonight. The 1-2, and Cingrani is down on strikes. So Loesch, a very quick 3 up, 3 down, 7th. Stretch time at Miller Park.
Strong 7 innings, and there were some standout performances along the 9-game road trip. We check in with the results of our AT&T Twitter poll. We were asking Brewers fans to weigh in on which player had the biggest impact, and Scooter Gennett ran away with this one. 65% voted for him, batted .500, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs for him on the trip with a 7-game hitting streak. And after his 2 home run game in Texas, Ron Renneke said, hey, now we just have to keep him from thinking that's what he is, a home run hitter.
Yeah, keep to the line drives and the home runs will come, right? Gennett swung the bat well. Loesch is finished based on that reaction in the dugout. Loesch goes 7 strong, 2 runs, 1 earned. And the Brewers trying to give him a chance to win this game. They'll have to take the lead in this inning.
Another good start by Loesch. Another good Miller Park start by Kyle Loesch.
Got Lucroy leading off this inning. Brewers would love to have Loesch's spot in the batting order come up. Brandon Kensler looks like he'll have the 8th. Loesch walked 4. 3 of those came in the first inning, and 1 of those was intentional. Sangrani's been tough, though.
Yes, he has. He's been tough on the Brewers all season. I mean, 3 starts now. Brewers haven't been able to do a whole lot against him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Lucroy fouls it back. Got a good cut at it.
And assuming Loesch is done, he's got his earned run average down to 3.17. Boy, is he pitching well. Brewers starters have been terrific.
Matching up against some of the game's best on that last road trip. Brewers starters recorded 7 quality starts on the 10-gamer. That's 6 innings at least and a minimum of 3 earned runs. And they've had quality starts in now 6 consecutive games. Count Loesch's tonight. Lucroy with a base hit into the gap in right center. He's thinking about 2, and he will hold up. Won't challenge the arm of Jay Bruce.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Not down by a run. And not a good idea to make a first out at second base. You're a leadoff hitter. One of the best throwing arms in all the National League, Jay Bruce. Lucroy thought about it, but thought better of it. But a nice approach by Lucroy, getting on top of a high fastball and finding the gap out in right center. A good start to the 7th for the Brewers. First time they've had their leadoff hitter aboard. Check that second time. Last time was the 3rd inning when Bianchi led off with a base hit.
And then Bianchi got picked off. By the way, Jay Bruce is among league leaders in outfield assists. He has 9 this year. Lucroy made the wise choice. So here is Aramis Ramirez. This would be a good spot for his first hit since coming back from the DL. Cingrani has struck him out twice. Pulled the string on him that time. But if you're a hitter and Cingrani is throwing 82% fastballs, seems like that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you can square one up, Brewers haven't been able to do that very much tonight.
Three balls and no strikes. Ramirez will swing 3-0. I'm not sure if he will do that right now, coming back from the injury and very few at bats, but he's been known in the past to have the green light. And he takes one down the middle.
Yep, down and in, and the fastball down, you know, mid thigh is the fastball that you want to attack. That one up in the zone, Brewers haven't had much success with.
Got a hitter's count. Ramirez at the plate. And he lays off. Ball 4. A good at bat. And now the Brewers in business here in the 7th. 2 on. Nobody out. And Logan Schaefer will bat for the 2nd time. He is in the game because Carlos Gomez had to exit this game in what has been called a right knee sprain. He made a great catch against Brandon Phillips, but it came at a price.
Right knee strain or sprain, whatever they want to call it, but it looked as though it was something else when he first did it.
That was back in the 4th inning. And that leads us to our text question by Ho Chunk Gaming. Do you think Carlos Gomez will at some point play more conservative defense? Ryan in Pewaukee.
I don't see that happening. That's the way he plays. You can't ask a guy to do something he's not capable of doing. I mean, he's 100% full max effort every time.
That topic came up concerning Bryce Harper earlier this year. He spent some time on the DL because of his reckless nature in the outfield.
So you tell a guy, don't go after that fly ball.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think you're going to do that.
Schaefer could be up there to bunt. He leads the club in that category. And he pops this one up. Mesoraco makes the play. Boy. An out to the best bunter on the club, Logan Schaefer.
That's a nice play by Mesoraco. Tough part of that play is finding the baseball. Goes up, you look in fair territory first, and then retreat and make the catch.
Yeah, that stings a little for the Brewers. That's a guy that you're expecting to get it down and advance the runners. It's gonna send Dusty Baker to the mound. Chris Davis is coming up, and Baker is going to go to the bullpen. So Davis homered off Cingrani earlier. Dusty Baker doesn't want a repeat performance. Pitching change. Baker goes to his bullpen. Stay with us.
7th, trailing 2-1, and it is the 40th anniversary of Bernie Brewer. Bring the family out to Miller Park Friday through Sunday for birthday weekend at Bernie's, presented by Southwest Airlines. You can visit brewers.com/Bernie40 for details. The Reds make a pitching change with Chris Davis coming up to the plate. He represents the Brewers' only one.
Well, Sam LeCure is going to be next man up for Dusty Baker. Cingrani is out, and that is a goal accomplished for the Brewers. He goes 6 1/3. He was very tough tonight, but LeCure takes over with 2 on and 1 out, and Davis coming up.
Well, LeCure having a nice season once again for Cincinnati. 48th appearance at 274 earned run average. Averaging more strikeouts than innings pitched. 18 walks and 51 punch outs in 46 innings of work.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Davis 1 for 2, a home run and a line out. Hit a 458-foot home run in the 2nd inning. And LeCure starts him with a bender. Watch how far this one flies. Cingrani tried to sneak a fastball by him, and it almost hit Bernie's slide. Long home run, in his 5th home run. Davis has 5 homers in his last 16 games. 5 homers and 33 at-bats since being called up on July 23rd.
Yeah, he generates some bat speed, no doubt. He swings it hard, but he's under control when he does it.
After no big league homers in his first 14 games, 5 of them since his recall. Tying run at second. Go ahead, run at first.
And he's shown to be a good fastball hitter. LeCure starting him out with a couple of breaking pitches.
Ball and a strike on Davis, and a big swing on another breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
You see the grip. You got the fingernail jammed into the laces right there, and spike curve ball, knuckle curve, whatever you want to call it. And good break on it.
Similar to the way Adam Wainwright throws his curveball. Looks like another one's coming. The 1-2, and a curveball bounce foul. Well, when you hit a fastball 458 feet, there's a pretty good chance you're going to see some breaking balls later.
Well, you might see a fastball, but it's not going to be in a strike zone. Don't be surprised if LeCure tries to get him to chase up in the zone here.
Sam LeCure, 1-2 the count. Another one. And Davis fouls it off.
There's the grip on it. You can see the fingernail jammed into the laces, giving you a little extra friction, a little bit better grip, and he hung that one. Davis got a piece of it.
Got to have a good manicurist when you throw the spike curveball.
Don Sutton used to throw that pitch.
It's been a steady diet of him here against Chris Davis. One and two the count. Lucroy the tying run at second. He's got a big lead, and LeCure will look him back. The last base a pitcher can fake to anymore. Rule changed where they could fake to third base this year.
Rule book's getting thicker and thicker every year, isn't it?
That's right. Wait till the replay section comes out.
Right, that's a book in itself.
2 on, 1 away, and a good block by Mesoraco. Now does LeCure challenge him with a fastball?
It's been all curveballs. Check out Mesoraco. And just lets the ball hit him and deadens it right in front.
Such a big play. Doesn't show up in a box score, but it keeps runners at first and second. Keeps the Reds in a double play opportunity to get out of this inning. Davis trying to deliver a big hit. Brewers are down a run after the Votto homer in the 6th inning. 2-2. And a bouncer to LeCure. He goes to second for 1. Phillips turns it in time. So the fastball gets Davis. 1-4-3 double play to end the inning. Brewers unable to execute. Failed on a bunt attempt. And then the double play wipes out the inning. Does a good job for Cincinnati. And now the Brewers go to their bullpen. Tough luck start for Kyle Loesch, who is on the hook for the loss. Brandon Kinsler will take over the 8th inning for the Crew, and he'll have the top of the order coming up.
Well, Kinsler in his 50th appearance. Not too many guys in the National League throwing the baseball any better than Kinsler. When you look at what he's been able to do as of late, he has been lights out. His last 15 games has not allowed an earned run, 17 2/3 innings, pounding the strike zone, getting big outs for Ron Renneke, and has become the setup man for Jim Henderson. For Ron Renneke lately, has been unscored upon in 21 of his last 22 appearances, and that's good for a .66 earned run average.
So he will take over in a 2-1 ball game. The Reds lead it. This day began with a ceremony earlier today in Brookfield for Johnny Logan. Of course, Johnny passed away on August 9th and was laid to rest today over at Wisconsin Memorial Park. And Archbishop Jerome Listecki officiated the services, and it was a beautiful service. Had a chance to see the family, Johnny and Jimmy and Jeff, Johnny Logan's 3 sons, and a lot of dignitaries were there. And a sad day, but you know, great to relive some of the stories and some of the memories for Johnny Logan. So laid to rest today in Brookfield.
Well, number 23, the shortstop they call him around here, and we talk about a great guy. Always had a smile on his face. Loved the game of baseball. A well-attended service today. It was good to see a lot of folks showing up, paying their respects, last respect to Johnny Logan. He'll be missed.
Shin-Soo Choo leading the way for the Reds in this 8th inning. Reds are at the top of their order. The Brewers are at the bottom of their order. Chu is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. In the left center, base hit. And Davis will cut it off. That'll be a single to start the inning. Now, don't forget, our Brewers Live postgame show is coming your way after the game, and our postgame instructional today. It's a good one with fielding and throwing techniques with infield coach Garth Orge. Davey Nelson put that together recently. So stay tuned for that. Brewers Live postgame following the game today. Todd Frazier with Chu at first. A lot of finals coming in the big leagues already. Pretty light schedule tonight, just 10 games. Concerning this division, the Cardinals with a 6-5 win in 12 innings. Matt Holliday had a walk-off single in the 12th. Cardinals beat the Pirates 6-5 and won the series. So they're just 2 games back of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh still leads the division. The first place Tigers beat the Royals 4-1. Anibal Sanchez now an 11-game winner. Frazier gets a bunt down. And Ramirez bare hands and throws him out. Sacrifice bunt. It advances Chu. And that sets the tables for the big hitters for the Reds.
And Dusty Baker wanted to stay out of the double play. You know, Frazier had already bounced into a double play in the 5th inning. Get a man in scoring position for the big guys coming up. Votto Phillips and Jay Bruce.
So that'll be a sacrifice for Frazier. And here is Votto. His home run has the Reds in the lead. And it was a no-doubter in the right center. He hit one into the Toyota territory, deep right center. Kyle Loesch went 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. And no run support tonight. Cingrani was too tough. He and LeCure. Hopefully the Brewers can take him off the hook, though. That's a big run to leave stranded. And he takes off. Lucroy's throw to third is on the bag, but Chu is in there.
Yeah, he was safe. DJ Rayburn, the third base umpire. Throw was just a little bit on the foul side of the bag and made that tag a little bit longer for Ramirez. Check it out. Didn't take much, but got Chu in safely into third base. Get that ball in fair territory, that throw. He's out. Man, just such a fine line between safe and out most of the time in the big leagues.
14 steal, infield in now for Votto. And he cuts right through one.
Is that reviewable in the new
oh yes,
replay system?
Absolutely.
Stolen bases?
That one would not have been reviewed. They would have seen the replay so fast. It would have felt just the same as it is right now.
How about the in the neighborhood double play turn at second base?
Reviewable. 2-2 on Votto. Yeah, that'll start to change things, won't it?
Oh, that will create a beehive at second base, won't it? You're going to see guys getting taken out big time when you start doing that.
Brock goes kicking and screaming into the replay area.
No, I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
I like that. This would be good. We're going to have a fun discussion tomorrow.
It's
with
going to happen.
Bruce Fremming. Yeah, for years they've been giving that out, but to protect the players. The 2-2, and Votto swings and misses. Oh, Kensler with a power sinker strikes out Joey Votto for out number 2. That's a big one.
Yeah, it made him look bad. Look at his ball sink. Rarely do you see Joey Votto go out of the strike zone, the two-seam fastball. Look at the movement at the end with big velocity, and that's not something you see every day. Joey Votto with a swing like that.
That will allow the defense to relax back into normal position. And here is the Reds' best run producer in Brandon Phillips.
Yeah, watch first pitch fastball here.
Runner at third, 2 outs, 2-1 Cincinnati in the 8th. Phillips takes a strike. Perfectly placed fastball. 95 on that heater by Kinsler.
At the knees on the corner.
Brandon Kinsler, that is, has taken his game to a new level ever since the early part of July. Pitching his way into a setup role. Phillips gets jammed right to Francisco, and the inning is over. And Kinsler strands a runner at third base. Still 2-1. Brewers are coming up. Joey Votto's home run has the Reds on top 2-1. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Brewers fans might be surprised to learn that Manny Parra has emerged as a late inning reliever to protect leads. And Parra functioning as a setup man here in the 8th inning. And he has been very good for Dusty Baker for a while now.
Yeah, his numbers overall, and in 31 appearances since coming off the disabled list. He had a strained left pectoral muscle, and that time since he's come back, a .219 earned run average, giving up only 6 earned runs in 24 2/3 innings. Well, with Sean Marshall on the disabled list, and there's a question whether he's going to be able to come back this year. Manny Parra has been picking up the slack.
Well, he's given up just 2 earned runs in 2 months out of the bullpen. Covers over 20 innings. So here he is to face Juan Francisco to start it. Baker has a right-hander in the bullpen as well.
It might be one and done for Manny. Got right-handers coming up. Got Bianchi in the pitcher's spot. Scooter Gennett, a left-hander on the bench.
Lefty's hitting just 190 against Parra this year. And Francisco a big cut.
And talking to folks that cover this ball club, the Reds, they'll tell you that Manny's giving up throwing the curveball for the most part. It's basically fastball, splitter, and slider. He used to throw that good curveball, but he hasn't been throwing it a whole lot.
Well, it's a couple of guys with plenty of want to in this sequence here. Parra, the former Brewer, you know he wants to get outs and stick it to his old club. Juan Francisco came up in the red system, and the same can be said. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Francisco much better against right-handers, and down he goes. So Parra strikes him out on the splitter, and 1 gone in the 8th.
And Dusty Baker looks like he's going to stay with Manny. And you got Bianchi, right-hander. Then you got the pitcher spot. And Betancourt and Maldonado, right-handers on the bench. Mentioned Jeanette, the left-hander. And then Aoki.
So Bianchi, who is 1 for 2 tonight. See, Parra is a lot more closed at the setup, trying to hide the baseball.
And trying to keep that front shoulder closed too. That's one way to do that, you know, just like a hitter with a closed stance.
So Betancourt on deck. He'll hit for Kinsler. Brewers had a 1-0 lead until the 5th inning. RBI single by Cozart tied the game. There was an error in that inning, and that run is unearned against Loesch. And then Votto homered in the 6th to give him the lead. Rob Wooten and Jim Henderson, depending on the score. If the Brewers tie or take the lead, you'd see Henderson. Otherwise, Wooten. One ball, 2 strikes on Bianchi. They're setting up inside, and Bianchi dribbles one over to the right side. Race to the bag, and Bianchi safe. Bang, bang at first base. Bianchi reaches on an infield hit, and there's the tying run.
Just like Cingrani early in the ball game, got a late break over to the bag at first. Votto got it to him. And check out the shovel pass. And not much on it. Kind of threw Manny off his stride, and I'm not sure that they would have gotten the out anyway, because Manny a little bit late getting over there. And Bianchi able to beat it.
So that'll be an infield hit, the 2nd hit of the night for Bianchi. And now Dusty Baker is going to make a change with Betancourt announced as the pinch hitter. And big Jonathan Broxton will get the call next. We'll take a timeout. Brewers have the tying run on base. He is at first base representing the tying run. And the Brewers are going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Mike Leake, Tom Gorzolani tomorrow in Game 2 of this 4-game series. Leake's having a great year. 10-5, a 2.86 earned run average, very much under the radar. But a fantastic season. And Gorzelani, despite a 3-4 record, has been very effective in the Brewers rotation. So that's tomorrow's matchup. It's been a pitcher's duel tonight. And there is Jonathan Broxton on for the 33rd time, and Renick's going to counter rock with Scooter Gennett.
And Broxton has made 3 scoreless appearances since coming off the disabled list on Friday. Had a right elbow problem. The hard throwing Jonathan Broxton used to be in the upper 90s, now about 93, 94 miles an hour. And Scooter Gennett's going to take a crack at him.
Betancourt was announced once the pitching change was made. Renick counters with Gennett. Coming off a big road trip. He was 10 for 20 on the road trip. The Yankees started then stopped. Broxton is a guy you can run on. It takes him a while to unravel.
And the big guy, he has that high leg kick. Bianchi with very good speed. Just a question of whether he's going to be able to get a jump. Well, with 1 out, you know the Brewers want to get him into scoring position. Not a whole lot of power coming up.
And a big swing by Gennett. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, since August 4th, Gennett has been on a run. He's 11 for 24 at the plate, 3 home runs, 2 of those coming in Arlington against the Rangers, and 6 runs batted in. He also had a home run in Cincinnati earlier this year. As a matter of fact, his first major league home run was against the Reds in Cincinnati, which is where he was born and raised until the age of 11. There goes Bianchi. Pitches a strike, throw to second on the money, and Bianchi is out.
Not even close. What a throw by Mesoraco. Wow. Right on the money. And Mesoraco, an 18% throw out percentage on would-be base stealers, and well, that was a perfect throw to second base. Not a big lead, decent jump, but Mesoraco's throw clearly well in time to get Bianchi at second.
Had the right pitch. It was a fastball away, a perfect pitch to throw for a catcher. And now Gennett is up there in a 2-strike count with 2 outs. Cincinnati has the Hammer in their bullpen as their closer. Aroldis Chapman. Broxton sets up for him, and you see how Baker uses Parra as a situational left-hander. 2-2. And down he goes. Gennett strikes out, and the inning is over. Going to the 9th. 2-1 Reds.
And Augie, you got to like the pitching over the last 6 games, 6 straight quality starts by the starters. Of course, Kyle Osh, another one today. He's had 12 in the last 15. Unfortunately, the only decision he could get today is a loss. Brewers got a rally.
I'll tell you, yeah, and he threw the ball very well. Other than that 2-0 changeup for Votto hit for home run, he threw the ball very well, giving up just 1 earned run.
So 7 strong innings, just the 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts for Loesch in this game. But again, keeping his team in it. It is only 2-1 right now as we enter the final inning here. Again, we have Brewers Live postgame. Hope to hear from Kyle Loesch, Ron Renicky, all coming up after this Brewer telecast. Brian.
All right, thanks, Craig and Augie. Rob Wooten is in to pitch this 9th inning. Has 10 scoreless innings to begin his major league career. Mike Adams is the only one to go longer. Adams had a 13 scoreless to start his Brewers career back in '04, and Rob Wooten has been quite a story, coming from AAA Nashville as their closer, and he's been pitching in some important innings for the Brewers.
Man, talking about a good sinker, getting ground ball outs. His slider's been very good. Has not allowed an earned run to date, and entered Tuesday's game in Texas with the bases loaded. That was in the 8th inning. Struck out the only batter that he faced, so he's been coming into some tough spots.
He's got Jay Bruce leading off. Wooten has a terrific splitter, more like a fork ball. We talk about it a lot, but he uses it as a change of pace. That was a pretty good hook as well. Doesn't overpower you with stuff. Certainly doesn't overpower you with a fastball, but he has command of all of his pitches. And he's a guy that's had a lot of success. He was a closer at North Carolina. Helped that team go to the College World Series. He's put up good numbers in the Brewers minor league system, and at 27 years of age, he has earned a call up. As Bruce rifles one down the right field line, that is a foul ball. Not by much.
Yeah, hung that one up in the zone, and Bruce just hooked it foul. But one of the reasons why Wooten's been so good, he's been getting ahead in the count. He's ahead in the count right here to Bruce. 1-2, and this one misses the right field foul line by about a foot.
So 1-2 on Bruce. Wooten trying to keep the Reds at 2. Brewers will have the top of their order coming up in the 9th inning. Carlos Gomez left this game with an injury. They've already announced that there will be an MRI tomorrow. Right knee sprain, and that sounds a little ominous for the Brewers and Carlos Gomez. Bruce doesn't bite. Full count. There's the splitter grip.
Well, didn't miss by much. A little bit off the plate.
Another payoff pitch, and Bruce right on that one. He fouls it back. He's put some pretty vicious swings on Rob Wooten, but Wooten is still in a battle against him. Bruce leading off this 9th inning, and he got him. Caught him guessing.
Yeah, didn't think he was going to be able to throw another one for a strike. That was right down the middle of the plate. Pitch number 8. Yeah, getting Jay Bruce looking. What are you looking for, Jay? That's right down the middle of the plate. And right at the knees.
And down he goes. A strikeout for Wooten, which will bring Ryan Ludwig to the plate. Just coming back from the disabled list. Shoulder surgery knocked him out for 4 months. And his 3rd game back, and a big wave and a miss. Wooten uses mostly splitters against the lefties, and then he goes to that curveball against right-handers, and that's not necessarily an easy combination. This splitter in the curveball. Ludwig, backhanded by Segura. He's got a long throw, and it's in time. On a line to first. Made it look easy. And 2 up and 2 down. Well, the shining moments of the game tonight, brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic. Been some good defense by the Brewers. They've turned 3 double plays. And Gomez, of course, made this great catch on Brandon Phillips, but he had to leave the game. So defense has kept him in it, but there was an error that would lead to a run.
Well, pitching and defense, right? That's why the pitching's been so good, is because the Brewers have tightened up the defense as of late.
That error came in the 5th inning, and it was a tough error for either guy to get. It was Bianchi who ended up getting charged for the error. Mesoraco was the batter. Bianchi made the play to first. It was a great play, but it was a short hop throw, and there was a collision at first, behind the bag actually, between Mesoraco and Francisco. The ball trickled away. Mesoraco ended up at second base, and then he was driven in by Zach Cozart's single for the first run. That was an unearned run against Loesch, who went 7, giving up just 5 hits, but he's on the hook for the loss tonight if the Brewers don't come back. Got him. Rob Wooten, impressive. Puts up another scoreless inning for the Brewers. What a start to his big league career. A 1-2-3 9th with 2 strikeouts. Gets Bruce and Mesoraco. Last call for the Brewers. Top of the order coming up. Confident in this spot with a lead in the 9th with one of the game's great closers in Aroldis Chapman. And Baker tightening up his defense. Chris Heisey will take over for Ludwig in left field. Reds lead 2-1, and they'll give the ball to Chapman, who has blown 4 saves this year, but has 29 on the season.
Yeah, picked up a save his last time out against the Cubs. That was back on Tuesday. Pitched a scoreless inning and struck out a batter. Second straight season for Aroldis Chapman, named to the National League All-Star team.
And one of the hardest throwers in the game. He lights up a radar gun like no other from the left side. Nori Aoki will lead off. He'll be followed by Segura and then Lucroy. Aoki bunted for a single against Cingrani in the 6th. Brewers had a golden opportunity in that 7th inning. First 2 reached. Schaefer was unable to get a bunt down, and then a double play ended the threat.
This would be a good matchup. A guy like Aoki, very good against left-handed pitching, but Aroldis Chapman holding lefties to a 119 batting average.
And he zips one in at 99 miles an hour. A good warm-up pitch for him.
He's given it 5 hits and 42 at bats to left-handers.
Chapman making the All-Star team for a second consecutive year. And he has 4 consecutive appearances without allowing a hit. He hasn't walked a batter in 4 straight, and he has 8 Ks, and 8 of his last 10 batters have been put out on strikeouts. Gives you an idea where he is right now.
And he just threw that last one at 100 miles an hour.
0-2 to Aoki, and that one missed low. When Chapman gets in trouble, as that one rings 102, drawing some oohs and ahs from the crowd. When he gets in trouble, he struggles with his command and he walks guys. And then he has to take a little off and becomes a little more hittable as Aoki turns that one around. That was a breaking ball. A 90-mile-an-hour slider from Chapman, and Aoki singles to start the 9th.
So Aoki wins that battle. Good pitch, good hitter against left-handed pitching, and a pitcher that has been dominating left-handed batters. You know, those great stats you were reading off about Chapman, you know what that tells me? He's due to give it up.
Well, what a beautiful piece of hitting that was.
And he went down and got it. Well, he's something else against lefties. Stays right in there.
2 hits tonight against left-handed pitching. There's the tying run. Now Segura is up. And the winning run at the plate. Segura is a good fastball hitter. I mean, Chapman's a tough matchup for anyone, but the Brewers feel pretty good about their next 2 hitters in Segura and Lucroy. Both can handle the heat, and I'm talking about the high heat.
Now you can run on Chapman. Takes a while to get rid of it. Not a very good move to first base, but do not get picked off.
It is interesting to note that Chapman has allowed 3 walk-off home runs. Most recently in San Diego with Chris Denorfia. 2-1 Reds. Segura fouls it away. A ball and a strike on Segura. Ready for a 1-1, and Segura fouls it off. Aroldis Chapman defected from Cuba prior to the 2010 season. The Reds signed him to a 5-year deal that could turn into a 6-year contract. He made his big league debut against Milwaukee in 2010. We've seen him do a somersault on the mound after a strikeout. But he's emerged as one of the game's best. The 1-2. Segura just does stay alive. Last year, Chapman saved 38 games. And each of the last couple of seasons, the Reds have tinkered with him as a starting pitcher. They would remember when he came up through the minor leagues, he was a starter as well. But even though he wants to start, he is at his best and the best for this club as a closer.
Yeah, it can make an impact on, 40, 50 games a year as opposed to just 35.
Tying run at first, winning run at the plate, and a 1-2, and Segura lifts one in the air to right. Bruce is back. This is going to stay in. Aoki tags, and Bruce A perfect throw to second base. Wow, what an arm that was.
Yeah.
Good thing Aoki stopped.
Well, a 1-2 pitch and Segura flies out, but all fastballs to Gene Segura. He got one down and in right here, fouled it off. Then Chapman got one at 99 up in his zone, another foul ball, 100 right there, and 101-mile-an-hour fastball, a fly ball into deep right for the first out of the inning.
How about this peg?
And this is why you don't run on it.
Oh my goodness. So Bruce keeps Aoki at first base. One gone, and here comes Lucroy now.
And the further you get in the inning, the more likely you might see Aoki try to steal a base. Brewers have been thrown out already tonight. Matter of fact, twice.
Yeah, officially 2 caught stealing. One was on a pickoff attempt by Cingrani. That got Bianchi. Bianchi was cut down trying to steal a base in the 8th inning after an infield hit. Lucroy up, Aramis to follow, unless Lucroy can end it right here. There goes Aoki, and the pitch is down and away, and no throw. He picked the perfect pitch to run on, and the tying run in scoring position.
It took a little off. Not sure what it was. Not sure it was a slider or a changeup. Not sure, but not a very effective pitch. Down and away. Tough pitch for Mesoraco to handle. Look at the lead. Look at the jump, and Aoki gets into scoring position.
That's a big steal. 17th stolen base of the year. And now a base hit could score him. Remember, the best arm in the outfield is in right. Chu has a strong throwing arm in center as well. And Lucroy pulls one foul. Throw the slider down and in, and Lucroy fouled it off.
First pitch was 99 miles an hour. He threw it for a strike, and the next 2 were breaking pitches.
Not a whole lot of time to make up your mind as a hitter. Ball is on you quick. He's got Lucroy in a hole 1 and 2. 2-1 Reds, who are in the bottom of the 9th. And down goes Lucroy. 101 miles an hour. 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, fastball, 2 breaking pitches, and then 101 on the gun. Just off the outside corner, and you have to start that bat so early. You're going to get swings like that off the plate. You don't have time to wait.
Brewers' last hope, Aramis Ramirez, still looking for his first hit since returning from the DL.
Good time to break out of it right here.
Just his 3rd game back. Aoki takes a big lead at second. And Ramirez takes a ball. 2-0.
Yeah, real selective right now. Try and look for one, down in the strike zone. And take a shot. Good time for Ramirez to break out of it.
You wonder how aware Chapman is of the on-deck hitter, a left-handed hitter in Schaefer. And there's a strike on the corner. Ramirez has 6 career walk-offs. Last game last year against the Marlins. But it is a rusty bat that is just coming back from a month on the shelf. See if he can dial it up. A 2-1 is in there. Strike 2, and he doesn't like the call. So now the Brewers down to their last strike.
Well, just about perfect on that outside corner. 99 miles an hour with that kind of command.
That's tough to hit.
A leadoff single and a stolen base by Aoki. 2-2 with 2 outs, and down he goes. Ramirez strikes out, and the ball game is over. The Reds win again. They've won 5 in a row now. Tony Sangrani beats Kyle Loesch, and Chapman with save number 30, and the home run by Votto is the difference in the game. So the Reds stay hot, and they will inch closer to the first place Pirates in the National League Central. Now just 2.5 back. Time for Brewers Live. We check in with Craig Kishon. Brewers Live coming your way.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. Boy, what a tough loss for Kyle Loesch and the Brewers to absorb an unearned run and a 2-1 loss. We'll get inside the Brewer clubhouse here from Ron Renicky, plus our on-field instruction along the way, and we'll update you on Carlos Gomez. Stay with us. Brewers Live is next.